Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited. Today we are doing a tattoo tour, I guess if you will, of my body, what tattoos I have, what do they mean, all that kind of fun stuff. You guys voted on Instagram, so we are delivering today. I think we're just gonna jump in right away, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys end up loving this video. So let's dive right in. Fun fact as we get started today, all my tattoos are on the right side of my body. Now I know this sounds really weird, but like I have really weird OCD and it needs to be like half and half. So I can't have any tattoos on the left side of my body that I can visually see or I will freak the out. So in saying that, I'm gonna start down and work my way up. So on my foot, one of my first tattoos that I got when I was 14, on the inside of my right foot, it says love is louder. If you know me, I'm like a big sucker for love. Like I love everything. I love everyone. Like I'm just like, you're the best. No, you're the best. And it's just like really corny. And I remember when I got it, the tattoo artist tried so hard. This is like actually a big PSA for anyone thinking about getting a freaking foot tattoo. It is gonna be one of like the craziest, worst pains you ever feel. Like when I went in, this tattooed guy from head to toe, literally tattooed, covered, was like, are you sure you don't want to get it somewhere else? Like, please let us put it somewhere else. And I was like, no. Like, I'm a tough bitch. Like, I can do this. Like, I'm getting it on my foot. I didn't cry, but I was like profusely sweating. Granted, the air conditioning was really bad in that place, but anyways, I was like profusely sweating. Like, it hurt. Like, I held on to the chair and America, that was that. Then on the top of my foot, I have 3 cherry blossoms, and they're Japanese cherry blossoms, and cherry blossoms just stand for new life, rebirth, and I got that one when I was 16. My mom drove me to Vegas because in Nevada, it is legal to get tattoos under 18 with parent consent. So for my 16th birthday, my mom kidnapped me and my BFF and drove to Vegas, and we had such a good time. And I got the 3 cherry blossoms there. So I just love everything they stand for, and just if you don't know much about them, I would suggest looking at them up because they're really good for meditation and just visualization for me, especially in my happy place. So we have on top of my foot, then we have on the very bottom part of my foot by my toes, I have part of a Martin Luther King Jr. quote that says, "Take the first step in faith." I got that one when I was around 17 or 18. Now, like, this is going to be shocking, but I want to say like 98% of my tattoos I got before I was 18. And that is just, it means a lot to me because I think in life, you have to really keep things moving, keep things going. And if you don't have faith that things are going to work out, then, you know, your life just stops and you go nowhere. So having faith, whether you take that as a religious meaning or you just take that as like a daily spiritual meaning of holding on and having hope, like I do, that was like a very important quote to me. And I'm a big lover of Martin Luther King Jr., so had to get the quote. So then to the right of my foot, I have a peacock feather, and attached to it, it says forever free. Now I need to get it touched up. I accidentally got it infected. I got this one when I was like 16 or 17. I loved the peacock because it stood for royalty and just like being a queen. And I just at that time was a lot of my tattoos I got after breakups. Don't judge me. But at the time I was going through a really bad breakup and I really wanted myself to feel like I am that bitch. And so the peacock feather really did that for me, and that's why I got that. And attached to forever free because a peacock is a bird, and when I think about a bird, I think it soaring high in the sky and not having a care, going wherever it can go, and I'm just jealous. I have 3 spirit animals, and one of them is a bald eagle, so I definitely wish I could be a bird and just like fly away sometimes. So that's why I attached Forever Free to it. Then if we make our way up the leg, on our right side, we have an Om symbol. Now the Om symbol stands for a lot of different things. So part of it is the Om symbol breaks down to the absolute state. The dot signifies the fourth state of consciousness, and this is the state of consciousness looks neither outwards nor inwards. This is utterly quiet, peaceful, and blissful state that is ultimately an aim of spiritual activity. So you've probably heard the Om thing as like, you probably connect it and associate it with like yoga, and that is very much like a yoga practice to be in that state of inner mind, inner spirit, and making your inner world reflect to your outer world. Then you have the illusion. This is what gets in the way of our spiritual development, preventing us from the realization of the highest state of bliss. This semicircle dot doesn't touch the dot, meaning the highest state of consciousness is unaffected, which is just so beautiful. Like, how can you just, girl, let's just, Next, the dream state. The middle curve, which lies between deep sleep and the walking state, signifies the dream state. In this state, the consciousness is turned within and the dreamer experiences a world behind closed eyes. Now, if you know me or you've watched previous videos with my best friends, we are very spiritual. We're very into deep meditation. We are very much into like going into the sleep meditative state so that we can transport ourselves to other worlds. I'm telling you right now, and I'm not going to explain the story, but I have been to India without being to India. There is crazy things you can do when you're in a dreamlike state. And then second to last, the walking state. Represented by a large curve, the state of consciousness is turned outwards and experiences the world through the five senses. This is the most common state of human consciousness. Now, this is one of the reasons why usually when people are like, what's the first thing you're grateful for? I usually almost like 9 times out of 10 say my five senses, because I couldn't imagine not having one of those senses to experience the world around me. And then lastly, the unconscious state. The top curve denotes the state of deep sleep. This is where the sleeper is subconsciously shut down, desiring nothing and having no dreams, which, girl, is like my life state. But anyways, so that is the Om symbol on my right thigh, and that is what that stands for. And I just really correlate and relate to that meaning. So that's why that's there. It's actually, fun fact, a matching tattoo with my ex-best friend. And I've considered covering it, but I really don't want to cover any tattoos. But I do want a really big like mermaid piece on my thigh. So if it had to be covered, ultimately, like, I wouldn't be mad. I'd just get another Om symbol tattooed somewhere else. But anyways, so we have my arm, girl. Now, a lot of people don't even realize I have tattoos because most of them are like in really hidden places. So unless I'm like wearing like next to nothing or just like really out there, people really don't notice that I even have tattoos. So on my hand, I have on my pointer finger, let go. Now, I got this after a breakup when I was like 17, I believe. And I just was having, and just in life, I think I have a really hard time when I get upset about something. It's so hard for me to let it go. And sometimes we just forget those two words. And I'm not saying when I look at that tattoo, like everything just like leaves my body of what I was feeling. But I definitely start reminding myself, like, let it go. Like, I put it in like the state so that I can get there faster than I normally would. And I like to say a lot of my tattoos on my body are writing, and because I like having those like, I guess like lifetime reminders of how I f***ed up. And on my middle finger, I have Beni Vidi Vici, tongue twister of the century. And that means I came, I saw, I conquered in Latin. And so that to me just really resonated to my birth chart and like what a bad bitch I am. And I was just like, damn, that's me. I came to Earth, me, the alien goddess. I conquered, I slayed. Thank you. I think I got that one when I was like 15 or 16, the Beni Vidi Vici one. And then I got my promise finger to music. I got it like a ring. It says music when I was 14 because if you guys don't know, I grew up like how any of this happened was I started singing, and to me, music is very important and essential to my life. So I wanted to make a promise that I would never eliminate music from my life. Then I have these 3 dots here, and we're not going to talk about that. It's inappropriate for the YouTube. And then what? And then I have ride or die on the side of my hand. And this was associated with some things that were going on in my life in high school. But I also think I do have a very like ride or die mentality just in like my general life. I'm very hardcore. I'm very extreme. Either I do things like completely, I have to do it, it's got to be done, or I'm like, I can't help you. Like there's no in between. Either like I'm going extreme or I'm not going extreme. That middle bullshit is like for the normal people. So I'm crazy, but I think we all knew this. And that also stands for for me personally, like following my dreams. I think I'm always gonna follow my dreams, even if I die doing it. So ride or die, y'all. Next up, we have my tattoo right here. And so this tattoo, if I like had to get one removed or like didn't have to have one, it would be this tattoo, just because I didn't follow my own golden rule. And for that, I do basically, if I want a tattoo, I wait at least 6 months to get it. And if I still want it after 6 months, then I'll go get it, whatever, you know. But this one, I literally like saw it on Tumblr when I was like 15. It was like, I have to get it. It's so good. So I went to the tattoo shop and I got it done, got into a car crash like 15 minutes later. It was a crazy day, so I'll never forget getting that tattoo. So, and the guy who did it put it upside down. Now, let me like say this, first of all. Most people, like a majority of people, get their tattoos facing so that when other people look at it, it is facing them. But I personally like my tattoos facing me so that I could see them. And so I'm just so upset, but I'm glad that it's in a different language so I can't see it and my OCD isn't triggered like, this is upside down. So luckily, that's that. But yeah, so I love that tattoo still, but like I didn't need to have it. I probably wouldn't have like gotten it. Fun fact, like when I saw it on Tumblr, I was like, damn, like how do we know this really means truth in Hebrew? Like, so we put it on Reddit and like a bunch of people are like, oh, it means truth, it means truth. So of course, like 15-year-old me was like, Reddit, I'm gonna trust all those people. So it does mean truth, but like God knows what it could have really meant. So this next tattoo I have on my forearm is a Kanye West song, and he got the lyrics and switched them up a little bit from a Bible scripture, but the passage says, to whom much is given, much is tested. I got this tattoo, I believe, when I was 18. I was, just in college or just about to go in college. It was after a really bad breakup, and I just felt like horrible shit just kept happening and like it wasn't ending. And then I finally just had to tell myself that like one day I was gonna be super blessed and get hella fucking gifts for being like so tortured my whole life. And then, you know, come to find out that wasn't the worst thing that was gonna happen. But luckily I had this tattoo to remind me and to keep giving me faith that great, huge things are coming my way. So that's why I have that tattoo. So my next tattoo says, too beautiful to die, too wild to live. Now I saw this, I'm not really sure if that came from anywhere or if it was just like someone created like one of those, you know, moody, dramatic memes. I used to be like a Tumblr queen. So I saw that tattoo when I was like 13, and then I finally got it when I was like 17. And I just really felt like it described my life. I know a lot of this is gonna be like, I really felt like it meant so much to me, but I really do have tattoos that mean a lot to me and are messages from usually very important parts of my life. So that for me was just kind of like, I felt like I was just like not meant for this world, but I wasn't meant to leave this world. So it felt like a very middle situation, and that's what that tattoo means to me. And then next up, your girl has a tattoo in her ear. Now, a lot of people don't see this and they're like, did you just get that? I'm like, no. My biggest question is, people ask, does it hurt? No, it doesn't. Your ear is all cartilage, so it doesn't hurt at all. What your biggest problem is gonna be finding someone who will do the tattoo. This took me I called 12 different shops because no one and everyone refused to tattoo my ear. So I finally got this one when I was 16 or something, but it says loyal. I consider myself, like I said, a ride or die type of person, and with that comes a very type A loyalty. And so I consider myself to my friendships and my friends and people and career and all my choices. I'm very loyal. I don't usually just leave something. I try to always see it through, and so I just have loyal on my ear because that's who I am. And then behind my ear, we have my very, very first tattoo when I was 13 or 14. We got it in Indiana. My mom co-signed for it. My dad was pissed. And my mom was like, she's been wanting it since the 3rd grade. She's never gonna hate it. And it's true, I still don't hate it. I love that tattoo. And it's a star, a heart, and a music note. And we got it in Indiana again because you could get tattoos with parent signature if you were under 18 in Indiana. So that's why we got it there. So the star is obviously for dreams, the heart is obviously for love, and the music note is obviously for music. And those were all things that I love and had since I was very little. So that's what that's for, and I love it. It still looks good, almost 10 years later. Yeah. Lastly, I think the very last tattoo is on my back, and this is gonna be the craziest story, and half of you are gonna be like, bye, Felicia. You're gonna next me out of YouTube realm. Here we go. Are you ready? So the tattoo on my back is of Kurt Cobain, and I have Kurt Cobain tattooed on my back. I'm very much into past lives. I meditate on my past lives. I try to understand my past lives to help me in this life. I believe there's different universes and galaxies, and as horrible as this may sound, I hope I do not die and come back to Earth. I really hope that I go to a different galaxy, a different realm, lifetime planet. I do not wish to be here. So in order not to come back to Earth, I believe that you really have to come to an ultimate point of nirvana in this life. And so through that, I was understanding my past lives. What are my faults? What am I bringing into this life? What do I need to redo? And in that, I had a meditation state of one of my past lives being in England in the 1800s. And I was actually an orphan with my twin brother, who I believe is Kurt Cobain. And I'm not saying that was Kurt Cobain, but your soul jumps from different bodies. So this was Kurt Cobain's soul in a different body. This wasn't a mini Kurt Cobain, but it was Kurt Cobain. And we were brother and sister, and we died orphans in the streets. So that is how I connect with Kurt Cobain, and just his music got me through so much in my life, and his writings and his thought processes. And so I definitely wanted to get him tattooed on my back because he is my soul brother, and I feel his spirit with me. And I even paid a ton of money to go see this one of the top rated how do you call it, spirit guider reader people in New York. And I just I asked her about Kurt, and she was like, he's very much with you. She gave me messages he wanted me to know. It was very confirming that my past life was confirmed by someone who is really renowned and someone who is known for really practicing their craft in an upper level of what they do, and very respected for it. So yeah, so that's why I have Kurt Cobain on my back. A lot of you are probably like, what the fuck? But yeah, so that's the reason why I have it. And I believe that is all my tattoos. Future tattoos, I do definitely have some future tattoo ideas. I'm not going to tell them because I know there's people out there that are going to steal my ideas. So just know I do plan to, by the time I'm 45, to have a full right sleeve, have my entire back covered. I don't know about my right leg yet, but definitely like a thigh piece. But I do plan to have my whole right arm and my whole entire back covered by the time I'm 45. So I definitely do plan to get more tattoos. I love tattoos. I'm addicted. I cannot stop. And I hope that I'm not encouraging any young children right now to force their parents to get them tattoos. Those are all my tattoos, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite tattoo? What was your favorite tattoo story? Because I know I am crazy, and a lot of that was crazy, and you guys probably had to reprocess all the craziness within me. But anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys all for my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.